Burnout has led to wild changes in my reading plans. Hey everyone, welcome back to Andrew's Wizardly Reads, and today guys we are doing a very loose set of reading plans for May of 2025. But before we get into that, please do me a favor, like this video and subscribe to the channel, as it does help the channel grow. And you can check in the description box down below for links to all of my social media, including my Patreon, where I am currently hosting a raffle/giveaway for this Kobo Clara color. This one right here in my hands. Essentially, I've done other content around this, but the way this works, if you want to enter in to win this Kobo, simply go to that description box down below, click the link to the Patreon, sign up for any individual tier that you are comfortable supporting the channel at, and DM me the words Kobo. Now, essentially, if you enter in at the bottom tier, you get 1 entry. If you enter at the next tier up, which is the Wizard Adept, you get 2. If you enter up at the Wizard Journeyman, which is $5, you get 3 entries, and so on and so forth, up the ladder to basically get entries into this Kobo. So that is still ongoing, and I will spin the wheel and select a winner halfway through the month of May. I'm also getting ready and gearing up to do a patron takes over my reading plans for a month, essentially. That will be in June. And then I've got other stuff going on, as well as housekeeping. Oh no, I put it all the way at the bottom. The Patreon book club book for the month of May is The Malevolent Seven by Sebastian de Castell, which I didn't know was going to be a series when I put it on my reading plans. But hey, happy accidents. I like Sebastian de Castell, so I'm actually really looking forward to this. So that's the first book that I am intending to read in May. Actually, this is probably like the only TBR book. Like, I'm going to be reading this book. Everything else is just, we'll see. Now, I recently released a video basically breaking down a bunch of series and authors that I'm going to be reading during my time of burnout. And you're going to notice a lot of them here on the list. But there is actually some fantasy that is still on the list. In fact, we're going to go through the fantasy first, because fantasy is what the channel is known for. Essentially, we've got Beware of Chicken by Casual Farmer. Right now, I'm really vibing with this series. By the time of recording, I'm either on book 2 or 3. I'm planning to just mainline the first 3 books on audio, which is narrated by Travis Baldree. And it just really reminds me of like 1,000 Li by Tao Wong, but it's like a little bit sillier. And I'm really digging it. I didn't think I was going to like it, but like, I was just deep in burnout in the middle of April, and then all of a sudden I was like, why not? Everybody keeps telling me to try this, and it was just like instant fireworks. So I'm just mainlining that series. So Beware of Chicken, either 2 or 3. I don't know if I continued with book 2 in April at this point, because I'm filming this fairly early. But yeah, Beware of Chicken, fantastic. Then I want to do an indie book, and actually, Beware of Chicken is an indie, but I wanted to do a different type of indie book, and that's However Many Must Die by Phil Williams. And essentially, this is the Blood Scouts book 1. It is a grittier style of fantasy, and I'm hoping that that's really going to work for me. I do like a little bit of military action. This has an interesting twist to it. It's Wild Wish was trained to do one thing, and that was kill. Saved from a lonely backwater existence by a global war, Wish couldn't believe her luck when she got into the Blood Scouts. Now, she gets to share tents with an all-female platoon of night-stalking, giant-slaying, boat-sinking, battle-swaying legends in the making. The problem is, they keep dying. This just sounds really awesome, and since I'm in kind of a traditional sort of fantasy burnout, this seems just different enough to kind of grab my attention. So I am wanting to at least give this one a shot. Then, a couple months ago, I just happened to open up Regante number 3. I think this is Regante number 3. If it's not, it should be Regante number 3 by David Gemmell. And I got about 5% into it, and I was like, maybe not right now. But it kind of planted the seed in my brain, and I was like, that was enjoyable. I liked that. And so I feel like Regante may be a good time for a David Gemmell. David Gemmell is bread and butter to me. It's very easy for me to consume. I just enjoy it. And it doesn't take a whole lot of like emotional, what's the word I'm looking for? Emotional input for me to like invest in the story. It's just like David Gemmell, boom, we're here, we're ready to go. And then for just craps and giggles, I wanted to put in a reread because I don't typically do rereads. I'm like, how would I feel with a reread? And the audiobook for the Mother of Learning, who's the narrator's name, it's been a minute. Something Voorhees, maybe? Jeff Voorhees might be the narrator of this. He does a lot of really fun stuff with Mother of Learning. And it's been, I think, like 1.5 to 2 years since I read Mother of Learning. And I feel like that could just be like comforting to like come back to something that I'm already familiar with and just dive in head first. So potentially, like, I'm not saying I'm going to reread the whole series, but maybe book 1 could be fun and entertaining for me. So Mother of Learning is potentially on the list. And then there are, of course, the books that are just like, hey, these are things I would like to check out. I started Lincoln Childs, and I think it's called the James Logan series. Book 1 was Deep Storm, despite the fact that James Logan, the titular character, is in it for 3 pages. And then there's, of course, like book 2, whose name I don't have in my memory. I'll put the cover right there. That's the name of this book. I'm interested in potentially trying this book because I grew up reading Douglas Preston and Lincoln Child, and it just kind of scratches an itch. So I really enjoyed Deep Storm. And yeah, it's kind of like, I think it's the 2nd or 3rd book I finished in April, which is not saying a lot because I didn't finish a lot in April. But yeah, definitely this is on my reading plans. Then the rest I own physically, so I can actually hold them up and show you. I want to come back to The Conspiracies by F. Paul Wilson, because this is Repairman Jack number 3. And I just love F. Paul Wilson. I love the formula of Repairman Jack. And I've heard from here on the series just continues to get better and better and better. And getting more Jack in my life is just not a bad thing. It's almost like urban fantasy adjacent, and that is not a bad place to be. So yes, actually I should try some urban fantasy here soon. If you've got urban fantasy recommendations of stuff I should check out, drop it in the comment section down below, because I'm always interested for a good recommendation. And then Ray Bradbury is just amazing, and I've never actually gotten through or gotten to reading I Sing the Body Electric. And I've had this collection on my shelf now for over a year now at least. Yeah, it's been a minute. I think I bought this at the beginning of 2024, and I still haven't read it, and that feels like a darn shame. So I want to read this collection of short stories because Ray Bradbury is always a good time. Always a good time. You can't really go wrong with Ray Bradbury. And so that's kind of why I'm reaching for him in this moment. And then I've got the audiobook for this, but I've also got the mass market paperback. So this would be an amazing immersion read. And essentially this is kind of classic Robert McCammon, and that's Usher's Passing. I don't know who the narrator is. It might be Ray Porter. I know Ray Porter does a lot of Robert McCammon work, although does Ray Porter? I know he does The Night Boat, which I want to try The Night Boat on audio as well, because again, Ray Porter. But essentially this is like a retelling of like the events after, or is it like a retelling of the House of Usher, the Fall of the House of Usher? I don't know. It sounds interesting. I've read the Fall of the House of Usher, but that was like 20 years ago, which really hurts me in my soul to say it's been 20 years since I read anything, because it makes me feel old. But yeah, it's been a while since I've read that. I don't know if I remember any of the details, but I do have this classic Robert McCammon, and a little bit more Robert McCammon in my life is never a bad thing. So these are the books that I plan to read in May. Hopefully this works for me, changing up the formula. If I don't read any of these, I could reach for anything on these shelves. These are just ideas of what I might like to get myself to read. But let me know in the comment section down below what you are planning to read in May, what works for getting you out of a reading funk, and yeah, I just kind of want to have a good old discussion with you guys. If you've read any of these, let me know what kind of experience I'm in for. Have you done the audiobooks? Did you read them physically? Were the narrators good? I just want to talk to you guys. That's really all I've got for you today. I hope you are doing well. Till next time, peace out. Stay magical. Bye. And as always, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons. Thank you for supporting my passion and my hobby. It means the world to me.